The initial contract was signed with a French company called Aegis, okay, for 60 months, which is 5 years. And the contract states that if the performance is satisfactory, it can be extended. You understand? Now, when Aegis existed, they brought on board, what's the name of the company? Pinnacle. Now the issue was innovation. Innovation meant that Pinnacle was taking over the responsibilities of Aegis and carrying forward the same contract. What was given to Pinnacle was envisaged in the original contract, because the contract says it can be extended by 24 months. In this case, they consulted the Attorney General on whether to do innovation to allow Pinnacle come on board. Once we approved that, there was no need requiring the Ministry of Works to seek leave to extend, because the extension was already in the contract. What was required of Ministry of Works was to satisfy itself on the performance. Because the clause in the contract said, if the performance is satisfactory, it can be extended. And the extension that was given is for, not for 24 months, but for 12 months, 1 year, starting in May. So, I want us to be able to tell the difference. Why there was no need for us to approve the extension, because it was already provided for in the contract. What we approved was innovation, because that is a requirement of law. I beg to submit.
Thank you. At one point, the chair, you said the Attorney General's opinion was not sought. So what do you say about that? Did you seek their opinion?
Yes, we sought their opinion, and they clearly told us they did not get authorization. You see a different contract sum. That's a different contract.
Attorney General, usually they speak in writing.
They refuse to write. They are here. They refuse to write to us. We have been in touch with them.
Oh,
and we wrote to them twice. But you see, right, honorable and honorable members, this is a different contract sum. And even if you talk about satisfactory performance, someone was not installed systems for us to audit them. We have a UNRA forensic audit. We have a URA audit. We have their own Ministry of Works audit, proving, not even only the committee, proving that these people have revenue leakages. How can you say this is satisfactory performance?
Can I put a question? Okay.
Permit me to clarify, Right Honorable Speaker.
Yeah.
He has made mention of the amounts. The innovation, the 1 year extension, the amounts envisaged in the 1 year extension were already established in the original contract. I want you to understand. The original contract states that we are giving a contract for 5 years with the possibility of extension. And if it is extended, this is the breakdown of the payments. Nothing changed.
I put a question, those in
before
favor, please.
The amendment.
Hello? Amendment to what?
On that
recommendation.
That recommendation.
Yes. Cast the recommendation.
Right Honorable Speaker, at least I've been in this house for quite a long time. And my experience is always Parliament, always investigates, but it cannot pass a judgment. Why don't we amend and say the relevant agencies should take action depending on the information we have? Otherwise, I'm finding it difficult that you become a prosecutor and become a judge in your own court. Why don't you amend and say, the relevant agencies will prove this beyond reasonable doubt, let the relevant agencies take action.
Information, Honorable Chair.
Information, Honorable Sarah Chitio.
Thank you so much. Right Honorable Speaker, I find it tricky when this House, already the chairperson of the committee and the Attorney General, they are having conflicts on some documents and some information. The pinnacle, the chair informed this Honorable House last time that these people have been in the contract for 6 years. And there is that information that Pinnacle took over just 3 months. They've been in that leadership for 3 months. It's like even the information that we have for us that we are going to base on to take the judgment is half-baked. I kindly suggest, yes, I kindly suggest, like I said last time, we are going to do mob justice. We are going to do mob justice over something that we haven't even been, we've not given full information. I therefore suggest that we allow the Attorney General, we allow the Attorney General to give us all the amended or the legal position before we commit such a huge crime. I beg to submit.
Let's have order. This matter is not for debate. Don't raise order or procedure. We are processing a recommendation. If the Attorney General, whom we said in this House should come and give us opinion and guidance, he has come to give. They are disagreeing. The chairperson is disagreeing with the Attorney General. It's my duty, knowing that each one here has a minimum of A level, to take a decision based on what you know. It's not my decision. That when the Attorney General says this, the chairperson and the committee says this, it's the decision you are going to vote yes or no. Please, I am informed on this procedure matter. Please, this time let's process it. We are not going to speak big English words here. Simple. The government, if we want to say what? Okay, say everything. Not just something. Because a decision is going to be made. That decision, they'll give us, we go left or right. You can't go nowhere.
Right Honorable Speaker, allow me to thank both the committee chair and the Attorney General for the submissions. Right Honorable Speaker, I had opportunity to look at some of the documents. The contract which was extended was only extended for 1 year. And right now, what is left is only 9 months. When we terminate, we go for arbitration, and it will cost us heavily. That is one. Number two, the contract also provides very clearly that the ministry can still issue a directive to the contractor to complete what the contractor was supposed to do, and it should be done within 14 days. So in my considered opinion, terminating the contract at this time, when we are left with 9 months, is not so valuable, and then we end up paying so much. Why don't we give time for the contract to expire, while in the meantime, the ministry takes critical interest in the contractor's work and ensures that the contractor complies within the stipulated 14 days. I thank you.
I want to put a question to the recommendation which is cast out there. Please sit down, my brother. Please, don't try to frustrate this. Whether you postpone it to next year or what, a decision has to be made. Please. please, if you, being a senior member of the House, I expect you, because Honorable Kakoza only in Uganda is the only MP who will represent all shades of, except being youth MP. Very soon after, the elderly is coming for PWD, and then so I want you people, I have reminded you the decision you are making, it will be your decision. And based on your judgment. This is a recommendation. Right Honorable Prime Minister, we cannot terminate a contract. We only recommend. And here, even our recommendation should be based on sound legal position. Sound where there is no question about that. Sound legal position. And now put the question. Those in favor of recommendation number 1 to stay as it is for termination, to say aye. Nay. And to the court, I've not concluded. Those in favor of recommendation 1 say aye, to the contrary say nay. Didn't I say nice? The nice have it. Oh, you want us to repeat? No. We count? Because I don't want us to be accused of being mob justice. We can even have now your hands up. Those in favor, the clerks, you get up. Because where I can't find the decision properly. I put a question. So, clear question, don't try to compete shouting. If you are few, don't say, I now clearly put a question. Those in favor of recommendation number 1, say aye, to the contrary is nay. Nay. The nays have it. Recommendation 2.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. The committee recommends, recommendation number 2, the committee recommends that the Ministry of Works and Transport takes immediate charge of the operations and maintenance of the Kampala-Entebbe Expressway in a bid to save government of Uganda from huge expenditure on private contractual arrangements for the benefit of the taxpayer. Right Honourable Speaker and colleagues.
Hello, Attorney General. Were you in the House when we were taking this recommendation number 1? What is the implication of number 1 to 2?
Number 2 collapses as a consequence.
Number 3? No, please.
Number 3 collapses as well, Right Honourable Speaker.
What does the chair say? On 2 and 3?
Thank you, Right Honourable. Yes, indeed, if it's the opinion of the House, number 2 and 3 and 4 collapse.
Right Honourable Speaker, Right Honourable Speaker, allow me just make a small clarification. In the beginning, I told you that a number of mistakes were made, and that's why we are in this place. For example, Section 9 of the Roads Act mandates the government entity to be the one doing the tolling, meaning that it should have been the Ministry of Works. In the first place, we shouldn't have contracted. But we did that. Now we are in the 6th year. That's why the Right Honorable Chief Whip was saying, let us run this because we are left with 9 months. Then we make sure we do not make those mistakes
again. You want to take
again.
us to 5? Because if this report has not informed the government, then you will need another report in hell.
Right Honorable Speaker.
Not on earth.
Right Honorable Speaker, number 5 collapses as well.
How?
Right Honorable Speaker, number 5 is to the effect that the committee recommends that the Permanent Secretary of Ministry of Works, who issued the illegal, unlawful, and felonious notes of extension.
Okay. Chair, what's your response?
Right, Honorable Speaker, Honorable Members, the issue in this recommendation was, were they satisfied by the time they extended? Because we already have reports from UNRA, from URA, from their own audit, Ministry of Works. So the issue is, by the time he extended, was he satisfied with the performance? And we are recommending investigation. I don't see why they are worried about investigation. If he's innocent, he'll be proved right. Investigation is not in indictment.
Do you want to stop at investigation only?
By the relevant authority?
Yes.
Let the relevant authority investigate. There's no problem with investigating someone's actions. If he's innocent, he'll be proved innocent.
Yes. What does the Attorney General again say what?
Right Honorable Speaker, the original contract says there will be an extension if they are satisfied, okay? The person clothed with the authority of assessing and being satisfied is the Ministry of Works. It is not me, it is not the committee.
So,
and the Minister of Works made an assessment, and the PS went ahead.
I think, yes.
Right,
now,
Honorable.
Why don't you want the PS to be investigated?
No, my understanding of this is that his extension of the contract was premised on the fact that he assessed the performance and was satisfied. But if the House thinks otherwise,
because
it is not within my ambit.
Because what Attorney General needed to know, which I know you know, and you've admitted on record, that the contract provisions you are referring to, they have not complied. Government side, you've also defaulted. There are mistakes. And I thought that was honorable of you, to be honest, that clause 9 was saying, no, you should not contract it out. You know? So now if what you want us not to investigate?
Right, Honorable, I want to be clear. I have not refused any investigation.
Okay.
I'm not opposed. I'm simply saying the extension was made on the basis that he was satisfied. But the House...
Why can't that be
the House,
defense?
sorry, the committee has made a recommendation. And
Honorable Paul?
The House is at liberty to take the recommendation of the committee, and we accept it.
Honorable Paul Mwiru, you were stretching or you were thinking?
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, we are doing our work. And the danger of getting guidance from the Attorney General, who was supposed to peruse the agreement for extension, and he perused none, and there is a subsisting extended contract where the Solicitor General did not approve. It would be, in my view, wrong for us to stop an investigation. Our recommendations are not self-executing. They are advisory to government. And if in even the opinion of government, you think that our recommendation, maybe you can ignore them. But we cannot say that we cannot take a recommendation.
I put the question to recommendation number 5. Where is it? I put a question.
Yeah, Mr. Speaker, sir, the putting of a question is very key. But you see, when you listen to the Attorney General and the chair of the committee, members, just give me, Madam Prime Minister, the Speaker has allowed me. Mr. Speaker, you see, I was here with you during the Wasajabalaba Harbour contract. And that's when we censured the Attorney General and the Minister of Finance in this house. We must be very careful of not losing independence of Parliament. We must be very careful. Here we are. The Attorney General appeared and the other entities. The chair and the committee have recommendations which are going to be passed by this house. And those after passing them, they go to government, either to take them or leave them. And the results are what we call the Treasury Memoranda for Parliament. But here we are. This Parliament, it started in that, it was within the 11th Parliament, where we are getting Attorney General, what? Attorney General, and then where we are losing independence. My prayer is, already, if this report is losing 4 recommendations, which are key, and we are bringing the last one, it is collapsing. But my prayer, and Mr. Speaker, sir, with all the trust I have in you, from the beginning of your becoming Speaker, is that we must not lose our independence, and the institution and our organs should be seen to this work.
Honorable Sewungu, so Attorney General should not give legal guidance in the House?
Mr. Speaker, his opinion, it can be taken or left, but it's not binding on us.
Yes.
It's not. But however, what we are seeing now, Mr. Speaker, he's putting the report down. He's throwing the report down, and it's disappearing technically. And I want the chair to tell us, if the first 4 recommendations have all collapsed, where is your report in all this? Tell us. Through Mr. Chair.
What Honorable Sewungu is saying is a constant reminder to the House. And that's why I said you have to choose between termination and not termination. And I emphasized that about 3 times. And when the Attorney General said this, the chairman said the other one. So what Honorable Sewungu is saying is that the Attorney General is diluting the report. But Attorney General is a constitutional body that we believe he should take his constitutional role seriously. I don't think that is working. If Attorney General misadvises the House, then it would be a different thing. But if it's in the opinion of the rest, the majority, that Attorney General is right here, the chairperson is right here, me is to take that decision. If you ask me for... So I don't know why you have conflict of interest. Don't take time. Actually, you should not vote.
Chair, speak. Right Honorable Speaker.
You have, no. I mean, Honorable, yes. Attorney General, how solid is your opinion?
Right Honorable Speaker, I have no personal interest in this. I'm looking at the facts as they have been given to me. Okay? If Parliament wishes to carry the recommendation of the committee, it is okay. That is all I can say. I'm not opposed to the recommendation of the committee to investigate. My role is to give you the facts and the law as it is.
Because
I beg to submit.
you still have a role, even after I've recommended. You have a treasury memorandum to come and tell us, we failed to do this because of this. Yeah, but you shouldn't be thumping your chest, or anybody here, that I have killed you. No. So, because that is supposed to, if we kill what Honorable Sebungo is saying, the independence of Parliament means that you are here to make an independent decision. The required qualification of being a member of Parliament is senior 6. That you make independent decision. And I emphasize that. The way you exercise it, I am not part of it. I will be here as an umpire. Inside me, I also know what I said. If I were the MP, what would I have said? What could I have done? So, we proceed. Number 5. Amendment. With amendment? Yes? And Honorable Katabazi is one of those I had wanted, because we wanted a smaller group to go and sort this out. But they said it was not known to the procedures. Yes?
Right, Honorable Speaker. Much as I agree with the substance of the recommendation, it contains adjectival characterization of words like illegal, unlawful, and felonious, which ordinarily would come from an investigation. So if we are proceeding with the recommendation that an investigation be carried out, it's my humble view that those characterizations be omitted from the recommendation.
So how would it read?
Right, Honorable, it would read, read, the committee recommends that the permanent secretary who issued the notice of extension to Pinnacle Security Limited on 20th May 2026, without the Attorney General's advice required under Article 119(5) of the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda, be investigated by the Inspector General of Government and the Director of Public Prosecutions for abuse of office, contrary to Section 10 of the Anti-Corruption Act, Cap 116, with findings reported to Parliament within 3 months. I am adding the element of time.
And I want to put a question. Those in favor say aye, to the contrary say no. Aye. Because this is where the whole thing started. I wanted you first to vote, and I would tell you, here, the extension, the contract you are terminating, started by the PS initiating the extension. So if you lose this, then you will not talk about anything, not even the termination. This is COA, where the other independent body will be able to look into the merits, the circumstances of, so the eyes have it. If you, have I put the question? Yes.
Mr. Speaker, it's a little bit confusing, and I hope for posterity we try and, in my considered view, shape up a couple of things. So in recommendation number 1, we are saying we should not terminate. We are coming to recommendation number 5. We are saying the PS should be investigated for, among other things, giving a contract without approval of the Solicitor General. So we are blaming the PS. We are saying, PS, you signed a contract without approval. That's the wording. But in the first one, we are saying, no. Actually, there was approval. So I don't know if you see the mix, because you cannot say one thing and another. When you say terminate because don't terminate because there was approval by the Solicitor General. But in number 5, we are saying let's nail the PS for, among other things, signing the contract without approval of the Attorney General. So much confusion. But even more importantly, Right Honourable Speaker.
Look.
Yes, sir.
The first one was termination independently for breach. For breach. They said it was for breach of contract. It's only the Attorney General who came and gave his legal opinion earlier that they also participated in the process. For me, I read this, you can recast it, but it was for breach of contract, having neglected or failed to perform its obligation precisely. Now, this one, they are tying it on the Attorney General. And you all know, the chairperson said there was no communication from the Attorney General. And it was, the Attorney General says there was a communication. Why can't that be investigated?
Right Honourable Speaker, and that's why in generic terms I was saying, even away from this particular report, you know, regardless of the side it gets to be, I think for posterity, the way committee reports get to be processed, maybe we should do it differently also in regard to our rules. Why? Because the Attorney General had or should have had opportunity to appear before the committee. Now, apparently he did not appear when he was invited and so on. Now, when a committee comes up with a report, with the input, by the way, the Attorney General can show up, give his input, and the committee still disagrees with the Attorney General. That's granted. But that eventually when the report comes here, what now the Attorney General is doing is what should be happening when they meet, I don't know whether in Prime Minister's office or wherever, to begin to take whichever action, and then they come back to us with an action taken report. But now we seem to be processing this report afresh. This is now like a committee of the whole House. That's why it's a bit confusing. And I'm now not even talking about the merits, but the process that now the committee chair is here, Attorney General is saying no, Prime Minister also jumps up and says no, for this one we are saying nay, and it becomes a bit tacky. So for posterity, Mr. Speaker, that a report comes, we agree with the report or we disagree with that report as plenary. And then government will go and take whichever action. By the way, we can even say that if the committee report is saying don't terminate, and we pass and Parliament will say yes, we agree with the committee report, don't terminate, government can still go and terminate, regardless of the report that we have passed. And then they come back to us and they say, you people recommended no termination, but for us we terminated as government, and these are our reasons. So that should have happened much later, but we have put the cart before the horse. Maybe next time better.
I think I agree with you entirely, save for the dragging of the Attorney General in the report and recommendation. The Attorney General only came to this because it's mentioned in this report severally. And while we were processing the debate, I asked the Attorney General to clarify, and then said they would come back. But you've given general principle that it cannot be the practice that when the report comes, the Attorney General helps in the processing. That would be very wrong. It is only now that you were mentioned severally, and I did not even expect you to be the one, you know, you are a hired advocate for the government side, so I did not expect you, but the government chose you to do that. But because your name was, your office was mentioned here severally, and the committee report writing, try to exhaust so that you don't drag these people to be, they would not be relevant. We would be going by the way you draft the report, you tagging it to someone finished, then Attorney General say, no, our office did not, our office did this, and then you're saying, no, you did not do that. They bring a letter. It makes the work of a presiding officer very difficult. And Attorney General, you need to appreciate that even when I sit here, the other day it made me very uncomfortable when I could not get help from this side and we adjourned. It is also unusual that we go close by close. It's usually we would be a chorus and it's done. But it's because, you know, so we are learning together, but Attorney General, you should not, it's not about who wins. Parliament should always win because the committee works for Parliament. You can go and do your work that side. After all, we are not asking you to use a panga to cut a thread. We are telling you we are not happy with the processes. And whatever happened here, it's really very important that Attorney General was mentioned in paragraph 5, even a Supreme Court decision was, then I said, the committee mentioned the role of Attorney General in the Supreme Court in this report, which formed that they were ignored. And we even also were concerned, why was the Attorney General ignored by Minister of Works? I hope you know the background. For the future readers of the Hansards, we've dragged in the Attorney General because the committee report dragged him in. But this is not the practice. Don't even start practicing for any other committee report that that you will do this. We shall move on minibus and we go, you know, here I was cautiously fearing how litigation would come because of some of the decisions we can make, you know. So let's go on. What is left?
Recommendation number 6. The committee, having found the immediate and former Auditor Generals, respectively, to be largely in the neglect of their duties to conduct financial.
Even there, you want to respond? Are you
No,
Auditor General?
Right Honourable Speaker, I thought I would read it, but Right Honourable Speaker.
Because where you mentioned stops at 5, you know, termination, we wanted to know was there a contract to terminate, and this one. Why can't the government chief whip so that the Parliament appears to be independent?
Right Honourable. Thank you.
Yes. Where you are again needed, legal, you do come.
Right Honourable Speaker, on the issue of recommendation number 6, to the best of our knowledge as government, the Auditor General did carry out an audit. And I beg to lay the report of the Auditor General on the Information Systems Audit of Kampala Entebbe Expressway toll system at the Ministry of Works and Transport as of August 2026. I beg to lay.
That report should actually the Attorney General formally wrote to me and forwarded the report, which they did when this investigation was going on, I think they were already in the report writing. So, yes, that report is sent to which committee? Park Central.
Yes, so Right Honourable Speaker, it is indeed true that the committee had not received this report at the time that they made their recommendation. And so I request that that recommendation is dropped and we process as you have guided. I thank you.
What the committee needs also the chairman should get up and tell us. Because I read the committee report, I read the Auditor General's report, and there's some agreement clearly. Yes. Chair?
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker and Honourable Members. Just for the record, all the reports the Auditor General has submitted are not revenue audits. And the committee was faulting him for not auditing revenue. The reports they have just laid is a systems audit. The one of 2023 was regarding the fence and the lighting, so they are not revenue audits. When we interacted with the Auditor General, he submitted a document yesterday and it's part of this, and he clearly stated he could not audit revenue because of a lack of independent traffic monitoring system. That was the reason he gave us, and he submitted the response yesterday together with this report. But what the committee was more interested in was the revenue audit.
So, and that is very true. The Auditor General is in the report. They could not audit the revenue, and that was where we were interested. The revenue audit is the most important because the roll toll has no what? Yes, it is still they want cash. So there, whoever you will bring will still fail or will continue stealing the money. The Auditor General also faulted from 2022, they recommended actually, Auditor General, they recommended the termination of this contract because the person had not formed. So the committee which is going to handle this, which is another committee of Parliament, should be able to task these people. A report is there from 2022. If the chairperson had gotten this earlier, I'm sure that your recommendation on this would have, and they were also not clear to you, it would have been different. So I want us to process this. So chairperson, what do you think about your recommendation? Should we still go for, do you concede or we put a wall?
Right, Honourable Speaker and Honourable Members, as a committee that processes work for the House, what our interest is and was for the revenue to be audited, not these other reports for fences and so, Right Honourable, in the event that the Auditor General says he could not audit because there was no independent traffic monitoring system, and I read the report, he also recommended termination of this contract. So, Right Honourable, I leave it to the House.
The Prime Minister is saying, but you're not on record. When did the Prime Minister start talking off record in Parliament? Yes, some.
Thank you,
Honourable. That's a permanent member of Parliament. So, Prime Minister, okay. So, Attorney General, you want to say something?
Honourable Speaker, when I was starting, I told you that a number of mistakes were made. And some of these things started right from UNRWA, especially this same contract. So we may not be in position to correct them now. We have 9 months left. We have made a lot of mistakes, and as I will explain even in the next recommendations, some of these contracts should not have been there at all. But we literally gave them away. Like the chair of the committee has said, we have no monitoring system to monitor the revenue. So even if we terminate now and bring another person on board, we still have no.
So we are talking about the Auditor General, the
yes.
clause 6.
The Auditor General is in agreement to have a forensic audit, but the issue is it doable? My proposal is that we agree, we carry the recommendation
Okay.
of the forensic audit.
Members, let that recommendation be put up there, be cast on the board, and we put a question.
Suspending? No way. Right Honorable, may I clarify? It
Okay.
seems we were talking on cross purposes. The recommendation number 6 proposes suspension of the Auditor General. And yet, we have
But
audit
that's-
reports here.
But that's what we are talking about. I take it that members
Yes,
are alive to what is going on.
most obliged.
So when you overdo it, that's when the parliament loses its independence. Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for this opportunity. As we are talking about the forensic audit that we want to
That will be
happen.
in paragraph 7.
Yes.
That will be paragraph 7.
Oh,
Yeah. Well, let's take a decision on this. One, the committee chair, the committee report, and the Auditor General, they agree that there was no audit. What is that called? Revenue audit. But what is there is ITMS, and that's what they audited. They did not audit the revenue.
Information.
So the reason is that the contractor had not put what? The other revenue auditing whatever system. So would you blame the Auditor General for not having audited? Because there was no system. So you've understood this. Paul, Honorable Paul. If we make a mistake, let's make it together. Because we shall be blamed.
Right Honorable Speaker, this matter first is getting complicated in that we need to hear from Dr. John what were the limitations. Because you see, he ought to have audited and said, I ended up to this level. They always say that this was the limitation. Because now we are going to take a decision without us dealing with the report.
Information.
He has produced, but I'm not allowed.
Okay.
Without dealing with the report, he has produced. And being an officer of Parliament, it also puts us in a very precarious situation, pronounce ourselves without dealing with the report, actually has brought out. Given the wording of the recommendation, because even drugs in the former, but I would, in my view, propose that actually, let me also state this on record, actually, that the National Speaker, you may need to give guidance to even to our committees, because we have been seeing a thin line between standing committees and sector committees on work they are actually doing. And this is evidence, because now, if we went this way, my humble view, Honorable Speaker, would be that when it comes to this recommendation, it is be deferred pending the disposal of the Auditor General's report. I thank you.
And the question I wanted to put is for deletion.
Procedure, Right Honorable. There is something that we are missing.
Please. We have everything. You say we are missing something.
Right Honorable, in the response of the Attorney General, there's this paragraph that I wanted to read. Because the chairperson is saying there was no audit. They didn't, yes, but this paragraph clearly, from the Auditor General's report, it answers that. May I read it? Thank you.
No, I don't think that you're following what we are saying. There is agreement that there was audit. But audit of what?
Right Honorable, when you read this, it explains.
Okay, you read it. Read
Thank
it.
you.
And I pray it is the correct, in the context of what we are saying.
Thank you, Right Honorable. The paragraph states, response. Right Honorable Speaker and Honorable Members.
Kindly help us know which paragraph of which document.
It is on...
which page?
I'm looking for the page here. Page 7.
Of which one?
Of the Attorney General's response. Page 7. First paragraph, after B. It says, Right Honorable Speaker and Honorable Members, in performing its mandate, the Office of the Auditor General performed audits on former UNRA, which audits included audits of the Expressway project. I wish to highlight the following Auditor General's report. A, financial year 2014-2015, the Auditor General conducted an engineering audit which was debated in Parliament, which highlighted inadequate initial planning, duplicating consultancy costs, and significant...
Honorable Member, I want you to be relevant.
When you read B... Okay.
I want you to be relevant to
B?
the...
Okay, let me go to B. Financial year 2021-2022, the Auditor General audited UNRA's total revenue corrections. And it goes ahead to say, and reconciled them with what was reported in the financial year statements. And that's what we are missing, Right Honorable.
What were we missing?
The chairperson said, the Honorable Chairperson said, revenue corrections were never audited. And in this paragraph, it's clearly stated that they were audited. That's what I wanted to submit, Right Honorable.
This is not, by the way, the Attorney General, you stand by this document that there was revenue collection audit.
Right Honorable Speaker, we had a meeting with the Auditor Generals. Okay?
Then that's more problem.
That's how we came to this.
I say huge report.
Yes.
The Auditor General told us in his report there that he did the auditing of the machines.
Right Honorable, maybe permit me read the whole paragraph.
Revenue collection system.
Permit me read the whole paragraph. Right Honorable Speaker. We sat in a meeting.
This is under UNRA, not toll-free expressway, not under this Aegis, not Aegis. People, by the time you are asked to be a speaker, sometimes I don't eat because I have to read to be in this house. So I don't want, I did not only read the report, I met the delegation from Auditor General's office because this is critical. And they admitted that the committee is right, that they did not do what? Revenue audit. And they explained that they could not do what was not there. Let me get a financial expert. Please, only when you know you are an expert in finance, talk to me now.
Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, we all know that when we are making a recommendation to address any issue, the recommendation must be smart. In this case, we have actually confirmed that the recommendation 6 misses out the aspect of being realistic. And as such, I would want to agree with the government position earlier, which the government chief whip presented, that we drop this recommendation. At worst, if we are to keep it, we modify it to read as follows: that the Auditor General, together with UNRA, with URA, conducts a forensic audit of the revenue collections since the inception of the project by the end of June 2027. In that way, we shall have actually come up with a smart recommendation. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
You know, the proposal which is before us, I think that what Honorable Marx said, being realistic, I think everyone is scared of what is here. The chairman has said that he has so far reviewed the documents to know that what the other people were talking, they could not do revenue audit. I don't know whether there's any member of parliament here who says that they did. I leave this chair for you. Now, if they did not, and they did not because there was no system in place, so how would you recommend to kill them or to prosecute them? That's the point. The other time, I don't know whether you've understood. Yes. Now, the reason is that there was no system for them to audit the revenue. This one came as with this report which they've just tabled here by the government chief whip. This recommendation would now fall if we had to take a decision. If there was a system to audit the revenue, then we would take a decision that they were negligent. I thought that was my understanding. So when I put the question with that guidance, Honorable Lydia Wanyoto, you are over-engaging the Attorney General. We know this is the Imbalo season, but... So have you understood this? So I still have to put it the way, because even if we go with the Honorable Max Ochai's amendment, there is no system. There is no system for them to work together. So the recommendation would fall by wayside. I put the question. For those who are in favor of recommendation 6, say aye, to the contrary, and aye. The ayes have it. You make us talk too much, Luzungu, Dupadola, and what? This is... Number 7, on forensic audit. Can we have those in favor of recommendation 7 say aye, to the contrary, and aye? The ayes have it. 8.
Right Honourable Speaker and colleagues, the committee recommends that a thorough investigation by the CID under Uganda Police and the IGG's office on the entire personnel in charge of the operation and management of the tolling system for Kampala Entebbe Expressway, with a view of being prosecuted for offenses of unauthorized modification of computer materials under Section 13 of the Computer Misuse Act, and the offense of causing financial loss under Section 19 of the Anti-Corruption Act. Right Honourable Speaker, on this my response is that the issue of determining offenses should be left as the role of the DPP. We have no problem with the investigations, but let the DPP...
So what did you...
We are in agreement with the proposed investigations, but determining the offenses is within the ambit or the mandate of the DPP. Thank you.
Yes, that is in view. This is the preferring of charges now. The committee is preferring charges. We want you to investigate them on this. How about if they find other offenses? So they shouldn't. Chairman.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker and members. It's okay to drop the charges, but to maintain the investigation.
Yes, Honorable Katabazi.
Right, Honorable Speaker. There is an element of speculation on the statement that references with a view of being prosecuted, but then there is an element of reporting deadline, in which case I would propose 6 months. And also I would want to narrow the scope from the entire personnel to actually those who are responsible. And in which case I want to propose as follows. The committee recommends that Uganda Police Force Criminal Investigations Directorate and the Inspector General of Government investigate personnel responsible for operating and managing the tolling system for an authorized modification of computer material and causing financial loss, and reports to Parliament within 6 months.
I want to put the question as amended. Those in favor say aye, to the contrary, nay. Aye. The ayes have it. 9.
The committee recommends that government recovers from Pinnacle Security Limited all lost funds from the illegal free passes as per the Roads Act, Chapter 344, attributed to its staff through an audit process by the Office of the Auditor General. For example, the computed total free passes at Busega Road Toll Plaza between January and June 2026, January 2022 and June 2026 amounted to 314.3 million. My response to this, Right Honourable Speaker, I have already told you that we made mistakes in the beginning. The Roads Act is very clear on who is entitled to a free pass. There are 3 categories: emergency vehicles, the President's convoy, and the fire brigade. But because of the mistakes made earlier, at making the contract, they put a clause allowing the contractor to have free passes for its employees who are monitoring and managing the tolling system. And that's where this loss arose. Therefore, the Ministry of Works, together with the Office of the Attorney General, should work together to regularize this exemption. But indeed, we have agreed that we let the contract run through. But going forward, only the envisaged exemptions are for emergency vehicles, the presidential convoy, and fire brigade. For now, we can maintain the status quo. I beg to submit.
Thank you, Right Honourable Members, Right Honourable Speaker and Honourable Members. We made this recommendation because we are alive to the fact that a contract cannot override the provisions of the law. If they made mistakes, they must account for those mistakes.
I want to put the question. amendment? This one is quite, Attorney General on record has admitted. A contract signed by parties cannot change the provision of the law. No. This parliament should not be party to that. No. So you want to amend which one?
Right, Honorable Speaker. If what I have is the same as the committee report, the committee recommends that government recovers from Pinnacle Security Limited, and therefore it misses the element of Aegis in the whole equation. Because on the committee's own figures, the free passages run from January 2022 to June 2026, so which has to be split between the two companies managing the toll system.
So would it be okay in that case to say the government recovers from the contractor? In this contractor, the word rides through Aegis and Pinnacle.
Thank you, Right Honorable. We referred to Pinnacle because when they innovated, Pinnacle took the liability of Aegis.
What would you think the contractor?
Even the contractor is okay, but in this case, Aegis no longer exists. It's Pinnacle.
Okay, I put the question, clause 9, the recommendation 9, to recover the money. Yes. Those in favor say aye, to the contrary, aye. Aye. 10.
Honorable Speaker, number 10 says URA should undertake.
The ayes have it. That's why you were rushing so that I forget. Then say, yes.
Most obliged.
Attorney General, stop these legal issues. Yes. Okay, go ahead.
Right, Honorable Speaker. Number 10, the committee recommends that URA should undertake a forensic audit on Pinnacle Security Limited in order to establish the tax liability with a view of recovering any circumvented tax through under declaring. Right, Honorable Speaker and colleagues, the Office of the Auditor General in their report highlighted the need for a forensic audit. So we are in agreement with this recommendation.
So you are in agreement? Yes. I put the question to recommendation 10 as reported by the committee. Those in favor say aye, to the contrary, aye. Aye. 11. The ayes have it. IG, you should always first wait.
I wanted to execute before a judgment.
Most likely, yeah.
11. The committee recommends that all the UNRWA technical staff and the user department and PDU that were directly involved in the process of procurement of Aegis road operations, whose functions were defining technical requirements, drafting procurement plans, participating in bid evaluation, and managing the contract, be individually investigated by the Office of the IGG with a view of prosecution for causing financial loss when they prioritized giving an operator a tune of 122 billion at the expense of the taxpayer. Right, Honorable Speaker, our response is that in the audit reports, the Office of the Auditor General did not observe any irregularity in the procurement of MS Aegis. Notably, the issue of determining offenses should be left to the relevant bodies. Article 120 of the Constitution mandates the DPP to direct the police to investigate. The police can investigate this, but let the DPP determine. I beg to submit.
Chairperson.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker and honourable members. This specific recommendation arose because when UNRWA anticipated to get 146 billion from the road in a period of 5 years, and they still gave a contractor a contract of 122 billion for these 5 years. So we are saying let them be investigated. How did they come up with 122 billion, yet they anticipated 146? The issue of determining offences, we can leave them out, but not because we are wrong, but because you said there may be others that can be brought on board.
I put the question, the recommendation 11 as modified by the chair, that the issue of naming offences be left out. Those in favor say aye, to the contrary now. Aye. The ayes have it. 12.
The committee recommends that the Ministry of Works and Transport, with immediate effect, installs the digital audit mechanism as envisaged in the operation and maintenance agreement, which were never installed, especially the ITMS, that's the Intelligent Traffic Monitoring System, and the high-speed, independent, and the high-speed way in motion scales to facilitate future audits by all relevant agencies. Right Honourable Speaker, the issue of the Ministry of Works taking immediate effect of the stall is dependent on the termination of the contract. As earlier highlighted, the contract can only be terminated after there is proof of persistent breach. Remember, 1, 2, 3, we collapsed them, meaning that we have to wait. The other alternative would be if the Ministry of Works installs these during and under the management of Pinnacle. I hope Pinnacle, I don't know how they will coexist.
But Attorney General, you've seen the difficulty. Even installing this, you don't want? You want the problem to continue? You are attempting, the Speaker, to descend to the arena of debate. I feel like I should engage you.
Right Honourable Speaker, actually, I don't know what has happened to the Land Attorney General. What is the information which actually did not come here is that when they issue a monthly sticker, to use the express, they give a discount. But even that route has also been abused now, that they almost declare all vehicles to have passed by discount. And that is the least proposal I would have expected from my good friend, the Honourable Deputy Attorney General, that actually even that is being abused. That why they don't want that monitoring system. The agreement had given them the leverage for purpose of collection, that if someone paid upfront, it gets a commission. Now what they are doing, they are discovering almost all revenue to have been paid at a commission. And the purpose of this system is to ensure that we get that information at once, so that it is a corrective measure. But now you are objecting to a corrective measure. That's now our word. So I would invite you to revise your position.
Chair.
Thank you,
Attorney General, you will say it.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker and members. We need to install these systems. Like you have seen, the Auditor General has just declared that he can't audit. We have made losses for 6 years. Now you have said we maintain the contract. We need to install, otherwise we are going to make losses even for the remaining period.
And by the way, if it was a recommendation in me, I would advise this should have been number 1. Even with determination or not, first of all, Attorney General, you you know for sure it is the role of government to make this collection. It is in the contract. It's the obligation of the Minister of Works, not a private. Now when you're putting somebody private, you are running it like a supermarket. Somebody can decide to receive cash and not give receipt or punch in the machine, and that's where we are losing money. I want to put the question. Those in favor of recommendation number 12, say aye. To the contrary, and aye. The ayes have it.
Now I'm becoming sensitive because I read my report and then I get accusations. I don't know. But I will sort. Me and my elder brother Mwine will need to talk.
We are, as long as the monkey is up, exposes the. So when you're in leadership, don't be afraid of being. Here there are even people who are like, who is voting how? Maybe is he been seen or what? Just continue doing what you're doing. If your conscience is clear.
Most obliged. Now you have given me all the confidence. 13. You know Jalameso was putting a lot of firewood here. The committee recommended that the UNRA accounting officer and members of the UNRA board of 2017 to 2023 who did not effectively provide their oversight role, strategic guidance to UNRA when they failed to provide strategic leadership on the option of the authority to operate and maintain the Entebbe Kampala Expressway rather than opting for an operator at a cost of 122 billion, therefore causing financial loss to the government at the expense of the loan repayment. Furthermore, the members of the UNRA board 2023 to UNRA's rationalization, who failed to offer strategic guidance to terminate the operation and maintenance contract of Aegis that failed to install the bare minimum requirements of an ITMS and WIM scale that would have facilitated the government to carry out an effective audit as per the operation and maintenance contract, therefore causing financial loss to government of Uganda, be investigated with a view of having them prosecuted by the IGG for causing financial loss contrary to Section 19. I want to reiterate, the issue of determining offenses is the role of the DPP. Determining financial loss is also the role of the DPP. We are not opposed to the proposed investigation, but the recommendation can be amended and leave the DPP or whoever is in line to do their work thereafter.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. The issue of determining offences, we can omit it, but the investigation, we stand by it, that these people should be investigated for causing financial loss.
I put a question to the recommendation 13 as proposed by the committee with amendments. Those in favor say aye. To the contrary, an aye. The ayes have it. 14.
The committee has since established that the extension of the contract did not meet the statutory requirement of the Attorney General's legal approval and recommends that the lack of the Attorney General's legal advice before the extension of the Pinnacle contract on the 20th of May 2026, as required under Article 119, Clause 5 of the Constitution, was an illegality and cannot be cured. Therefore, there is no subsisting contract with the Pinnacle. I believe this has been partly been dealt with under the first 4 recommendations. But if I may read through my recommendation, Clause 39(1)(c) of the contract, which provides that performance-based operation and maintenance services.
I think the main issue there,
Yes.
Attorney General,
Yes.
without preempting you, is to confirm whether your office participated or not. Because that disturbed me and disturbed the members.
Right, Honorable Speaker, like I said, the contract was for 60 months, extendable by 24, on condition that there was satisfactory performance.
So
The contract,
did the office...
The contract was extended by 1 year. Our office was consulted and we cleared innovation. And the letter is attached here. We were consulted by the Ministry of Works.
But in this recommendation, I don't see any reference to
this is what I said in the beginning, right, Honorable Speaker.
But you
I
should also say at the end.
Okay,
So
permit
that's,
me to say it again.
Please.
I want us to distinguish between extension of the contract and the innovation. The extension of the contract was already provided for in the original contract. So the PS Minister of Works did not require our approval to do so. All they needed to do is make assessment and see if there is satisfactory performance. Now, I'm not able to tell whether there was satisfactory performance or not, but it is the mandate of the Ministry of Works to do so. And if they extended the contract on the basis of that, I believe they found that they were satisfied. All we were required to do was approve the innovation, and we approved.
Chair.
And I have laid on table the letter of approval.
That's much better.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker and Honorable Members. There is a lot of suspicion, even from the Attorney General's office, because we talked to them verbally. They told us there is no contract. To your office, we wrote to you twice. They told us they do not give this advice, legal advice. But again, when you look at the old contract, it provided for extension, but did not provide for the amount. Here you are determining a totally different amount. This is a new contract, totally different. Must seek Attorney General's approval.
Honorable Sewungu, and then Honorable
Mr. Speaker, what we are doing here as Parliament is not in a bad spirit. And I can assure you, Mr. Speaker, rightly as you know, that a lot of audit reports and the recommendations will land on the Attorney General with the coming reports. However, I pray, if the President of this country, the one I know very well, looks at this report, and what I remember about him on Chidu Makubuya, did you advise me? What's your duty as Attorney General? What we are seeing here are recommendations pinning the office of the Attorney General, and the AG is using his advantage of being here to get a defense, even if he was not in office at that time, by the way. I pray, Mr. Speaker, that at the opportune time, off record, we shall have some interaction with your team, with you, to see how this, because this thing began in the other Parliament. Attorney General, tell us. Attorney General, what do you say? And what Attorney General, then you chairman. And that thing is spilling on. We must avoid it, because the Attorney General now, what he's doing is raising a defense of his office against what the observation of the committee is bringing it to Parliament. And it's very dangerous for us. Attorney General, in a good arrangement, and the Speaker was spot on. I want to thank you, Mr. Speaker. You told him you have brought almost a report similar to what is being presented. All the recommendations are having defenses from the Office of the Attorney General. That's where we are losing our independence as Parliament. And we shall not accept that. I will pray, Attorney General, these recommendations as they come, after presenting this report, the Speaker is forwarding it to Cabinet, to government, to act on the recommendations. You have room to come back here and make a defense. But when our recommendations are sustained. But here you are saying, because every challenge that will come in this Parliament, Mr. Speaker, from PAC, from what they will receive, wherever the Solicitor General and the Attorney General are involved in making agreements and signing contracts, we shall see them failing and it will appear. Will you do the same for every report? Then where shall we be? Where shall we be?
I think I guided on that.
And you guided it on it very well, Mr. Speaker.
The presumption of the chair as a speaker, the office of the Attorney General is not political. I worked there for nearly 10 years. We give opinion independently as the law is, not as it ought to be. It's a naked, without convenience. The law does not give you convenience. And I believe that's what my brother is doing. I have not gotten reason yet, but here the committee disagreed that this giving a new, when the amount is, what do you extend? You extend what is similar in terms and conditions. So if you are extending and there is a new parameter on the pricing, isn't that new, Attorney General? Especially if the extension is to a party who was not there at the beginning.
Right, Honourable Speaker, I'm glad you've raised that.
Yeah.
We had a meeting earlier, and I raised that very same question. They assured me the amounts did not change. Maybe the mistake we've made is that we have not carried the pricing page. Okay? The amounts did not change. It is the same amounts as embedded in ages that were carried forward for 1 year. I don't want Jalameso's information. Thank you.
Right, Honorable
Mr.
Speaker, the original contract sum, they were getting 24 billion per year. This is 36 billion per year. This is a totally different arrangement.
Honorable Bumali.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, I am really disappointed with the response of my good friend, the Attorney General. Because my thinking is that the Attorney General is the legal advisor of government. But now, the Attorney General is indicating that if Ministry X is convinced with something, and it says, for us, we are okay with it, for him, just leave them, and they implement what they want to implement. In accordance to what he is responding to. Because if the contract has a lot of issues, as we've seen, and then the Attorney General cannot even look through all those challenges, and then say, since the user ministry is okay with what has taken place, I also append my signature, let it be. I think that is missing his role as the Attorney General.
Honorable Abdul.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, I think we are missing it because I think the role of the Attorney General is not to advise on figures. His role is to advise on the law. So I think it was not his role to advise the other PS on the figures. As long as he advises on the law, then the minister has the right to advise on figures.
And here, the matter is not on figures. The matter is on the law that when you are going to, even if a contract provides for extension for a maximum of 2 years, after 5 years, are there no benchmarks before the extension is made that this one did A, B, C, D? And Attorney General, do you extend a contract to the same party when you give to both and the contract was for Senyonyi? Is that extension or another contract? Was Pinnacle part of the original contract? Attorney General, now this is a question which should not come from the Speaker fairly, but the temptation is too much.
Right Honourable Speaker,
resist.
what we approved was a novation. Novation means that Pinnacle was taking over the responsibilities of Aegis. It was allowed under the contract.
Also, Pinnacle
took over from Aegis.
So there was a clause in the original contract.
In the original contract.
That Pinnacle.
You see, there are two things.
Don't make me not pronounce it well, because it starts with P. But
information.
Yes, Honorable Bura.
Right Honorable Speaker, allow me chip in with information from the report of the chairman. If you look at 6.1, revenue allocation, it states the amounts of money paid out to Pinnacle, which was 86,557,309,649. If you offset from the total amount of 122 billion, you realize the difference is actually 36 billion, which reconciles back to the amount in the original contract. I think this is the information that the Land Attorney General should be able to have. Thank you.
Okay. That sounds like expert. And in this case, the Attorney General. Chairman, have you responded?
Right, Honorable Speaker. The committee stands by its word that this is a new contract and therefore it must have been given legal advice and authorization.
And now the person who should give legal advice says he did not have to because the contract provided for extension upon satisfactory performance. And satisfactory performance, no installation of this, no this. This is very satisfactory. I put the question to recommendation number 14. Those in favor say aye, to the contrary, aye. The ayes have it. That concludes that matter. And I just want to provide guidance to all committee chairpersons of sectoral committees. If you find something is about the auditing, be humble enough to get back here and refer it to accountability committee. It will avoid us to, so that because they are very clothed, including with the, no. So it would, like now this one, you are going to get cross-cutting issues. And you cannot stop a sectoral committee from working. But we need to have a strict referral system that on this one, this aspect, we are referring it to accountability. What? They will give it justice, where the Auditor General is given opportunity to do all that. I think we need to harmonize that quickly. And there is a small, that guidance there should be strictly complied with for harmony. And I want to put a question to the motion for the adoption of the report, Sectoral Committee report on physical infrastructure, on the oversight inquiry into management into the management, operation and toll collection system of Kampala Entebbe Expressway. And those in favor say aye. As amended, those in favor say aye, to the contrary, aye. The ayes have it, the report is adopted, and the clerk is instructed to make the necessary extraction and communicate to government. And what is the time frame? And report back within 6 months. The contract, there are some for 3 months, I heard there, but generally others which the time is not provided for, they should report back within 6 months. Congratulations, infrastructure. Congratulations, Honorable Kafuuzi.